Hey, what's up, guys? You're here with Goran, and thank you for joining me here once again, this time for your free picks for Sunday, January 28th. Well, guys, I don't have as many free picks for Sunday as I did for Saturday, and maybe that's a good thing because it was not a good day on Saturday. We had a bunch of weird results. Um, First of all, Leverkusen and Borussia Mönchengladbach playing a nil-nil game is mind-blowing to me. And then we had some other results that were definitely not going the way that we thought they were going to go. Uh, for Sunday, I have, I believe, 11 or 12 free picks for you. And I think it's going to be an interesting day. I decided to skip the FA Cup completely. I'm pretty much done with that competition until we get to those quarterfinals and semifinal matchups. But we have some interesting La Liga games. We have some good games in Bundesliga as well. A couple of great games in Serie A, and of course there is a parlay of the day at the end of this video. Another five-legger pays out at plus 419. We are gonna take a bit of a journey across Europe for that one. For my best bets, click the link in the description of this video, and that will get you up to my page where you can sign up, get a daily pass, 3-day pass, 7-day pass, or even a month-long pass, which will get you covered all the way through the next 30 days. And we have the Champions League starting off again in the meantime. Let's get this show on the road, guys. Like I said, not as many picks as we had on Saturday, and we are gonna kick it off with a matchup in La Liga between Celta Vigo and Girona. We know that Girona is one of the top teams in La Liga at the moment. They are in second place right now, just behind Real Madrid. But with a win here, potentially they could take over the top once again. Celta Vigo is on a two-game losing streak, and both of those losses were to Real Sociedad, and both of those losses were at home. Now, this means that this is the third game in a row for Celta Vigo that they are playing at home. And even though they have been playing quite decent as of late, they have been improving quite a lot. They are facing probably one of the most consistent teams in the league, if not the most consistent teams in the league, and that is Girona, who have scored 21 goals in 10 games on the road so far this season. That's an average of 2.1 scored goals per game when playing on the road. And on top of that, their defense is actually quite solid with only 11 conceded goals in those 10 games on the road. Celta Vigo, like I said, has been improving quite a lot. They're still not scoring a lot when playing at home. And I believe that Girona will go for the win here. And I think they have the quality, they have the form to do it. But instead of that, I decided to take Girona over 4.5 shots on target at plus 130. They had a very sloppy game this midweek in Copa del Rey. They got knocked out of it, but this is going to be a payback time. And I'm pretty sure that they are very much eager to take over the top of La Liga table once again. So Girona over 4.5 shots on target at plus 130. Cadiz is hosting Athletic Bilbao in the next matchup in La Liga, and I'm gonna keep this one very, very simple, guys. Bilbao knocked out Barcelona out of Copa del Rey earlier this week after overtime 4-2. And yes, I know that they might be a bit tired in this game because of that, but Cadiz is one of the weakest teams in the league. They are on a three-game losing streak. They haven't beaten anyone in their last 10 games, and they haven't won any of their last four games against Athletic Bilbao overall. So. Athletic Bilbao on the money line minus 139. That's my pick for this one. Sevilla and Osasuna are facing off in the next matchup, and it doesn't look like either of these two teams can keep a clean sheet right now. Osasuna also hasn't scored many goals as of late. They have scored only 2 goals in their last 3 games. However, they have conceded 7 during the same stretch. Well, Sevilla, we know how sloppy they have been this season. We know how struggling they are. We know that their defense is among the worst in the league with 35 conceded goals in 21 games. So, in this one, guys, I'm going to go with both teams to score, and that is at minus 111. The last game of the day in La Liga is a pretty solid matchup between Atletico Madrid and Valencia. Both teams in excellent form. Atletico Madrid on a three-game winning streak right now, while winning their last 2 games 1-0 each. They have kept 2 clean sheets in a row, which is important for them and their confidence, and they're keeping their form high. But Valencia, on the other side, has won their last three games on the road in a row. As a matter of fact, they have won three out of their last four games, and they have been scoring goals quite consistently. And they're doing a pretty good job in La Liga overall, with a nice, I think, four-game winning streak, if I'm not mistaken, which is definitely giving them a lot of confidence. And they have been performing a lot better in that attacking end than they have been at the start of the season. So once again, both teams to score in this game as well, and that is also minus 111. Now we are moving Bundesliga, where we have Union Berlin hosting Darmstadt. And you know what? The situation in Union Berlin is not that great. They ended up losing to Bayern Munich earlier this week, 1-0. It was a great effort from them. I gotta say they were defending quite solid, but then their coach got a red card, a stupid red card, I gotta say, and he got suspended for I think 4 games. He can't even have a contact with the team. He can't be in charge of the practices and stuff like that. So he will be watching their next few games from home, and we'll see how Union Berlin is gonna react to that. Darmstadt, on the other side, they have been showing some signs of life offensively. They scored a couple of goals against Eintracht Frankfurt last week. And as far as this matchup goes, we have seen a lot of over 2.5s. We have seen so pretty much 6 of the 7 games these two teams have played against each other have gone over 3.5 goals. And we have seen both teams to score hit in 6 of the 7 games between them as well. So in this game, over 2.5, simple pick, minus 108. I think it's gonna be a great winner for us. Borussia Dortmund is hosting Bochum, and Borussia Dortmund looks pretty well right now. They have scored 7 goals in the first 2 games back. They have kept a couple of clean sheets. They are in a great form, especially when it comes to scoring goals. But Bochum has been solid as well, and Moto. The, I, I mean, their best results are coming when they're playing at home. There's no doubt about it. And when playing on the road, they have only 1 win, 3 draws, and 5 losses, and they have scored only 6 goals. So I simply don't see them winning this one. But with Borussia Dortmund being such a big favorite, we have to look for some value, and that means we have to add goals to their win. So when we take Borussia Dortmund to win an over 2.5, we are getting it at minus 139. And in their current form, I'm actually quite confident that Borussia Dortmund on their own can get us over 2.5 line if needed. If Bochum decides to show up, score a goal, do something, good for them, but I simply don't see them winning this game. In Serie A, guys, we are going to kick it off with Monza versus Sassuolo, and this is a matchup between two teams of a pretty even quality, I would say, and two teams with a very sloppy defenses right now. So, if these two teams can't score a goal against each other, I'm not sure against who they can score goals. So, to keep it fairly simple, guys, without looking too deeply into this game, and we know that they both are missing some players because of the injuries and whatnot. Both teams to score an over 2.5 at minus 105. That's going to be my pick for this game in Serie A. Lazio and Napoli is a pretty big matchup in Serie A that we have on Sunday, guys. And Lazio is a pretty heavy favorite, I gotta say. Plus 120 at home, even though they're coming off of a loss to Inter Milan in the Italian Super Cup. But they are on a 3-game winning streak when playing at home, while Napoli has lost their last 4 games in a row. Now, on top of that, Napoli lost to Inter in that Super Cup matchup 1-0 with a late goal from Inter, and it's going to take a lot from them to bounce back. However, I think it's going to be a highly competitive match, and we know that Lazio has those oscillations in the game where, for a period of a game, they will play extremely well, and then they will totally disappear, and their form will go downhill. And I think that might be a bit of a kind of let off spot for them, to be honest. I don't think that they deserve to be such a big favorites despite the better form. And for that reason, I'm gonna go with the draw in this one. It's 210 right now. Uh, like I said, I think it's gonna be a highly competitive match. It's gonna be closer than the books might think, and for that reason, I'm gonna go with the draw. The last game of the day in Serie A is between Fiorentina and Milan, and I was debating with myself, to be honest, whether to take both teams to score, whether to take over 2.5. But then I just decided to go with a simple pick, and that is the pick of Inter on the money line on the road. It's minus 108. Inter is the better team here. They're coming off of a great game against Napoli where they win another trophy earlier this week. And yes, they had to fly back from Saudi Arabia. And yes, they have to go to Florence to play on the road against Fiorentina, who are very solid this season. But overall, I think that Inter is the better team here. They are full of confidence right now. They're playing well. They're creating a lot of chances. And even though Fiorentina might score a goal here, I think that Inter has enough offense and enough strength in their tank left to simply outscore Fiorentina, even though they are playing on their own. So Inter on the money line, keeping it simple, guys. And for the last two single picks that we have before we move on to the parlay, we have two games in the French League One I decided to pick. And the first one is between Reims and Nantes. Now, Reims has been outstanding as of late. They are quite solid. They have been creating a lot of chances, scoring a lot of goals, and they actually have been quite dominant in this matchup. Nantes hasn't won any of their last three games against the Rain. They are on a two-game losing streak. They have lost five of their last six. And when playing at home, Rain hasn't lost to Nantes in their last eight home games. With that in mind, and being a little bit more cautious because both teams are missing a few players who are still in the African Cup of Nations and the Asian games and whatnot, uh, I decided to take Reign team total goals over 1.5 at minus 115. However, this game ends, whether it ends in a win for Reign or Nantes or a draw or whatever, I think that Reign will score at least twice in this game, and whoever gets the best outcome in this game really doesn't matter to me personally. So I'm taking Reign team total over 1.5 goals, and that is at minus 115. And the last game of the day in the French League One is between PSG and Brest, who is actually now on a six-game winning streak, and they are actually quite high in the standings. Brest is in third place with 34 points. However, out of 16 games they played against PSG going back to 2010, they have lost 15 and they got only one draw. When playing at home, PSG has not lost to Brest in their last six games. They have scored 15 goals in their last three games, and they basically look unstoppable right now. I know that Brest is quite solid when playing on the road. They have five wins, one draw, and three losses. They have scored 10 goals, conceded only eight goals in nine games, which is outstanding. But even though PSG is missing a bunch of players because of the injuries and suspensions, and some are still in the African Cup of Nations, they are averaging about two and a half scored goals per game when playing at home, and they're conceding less than a goal. And let's not forget that they have Mbappe, they have Vitinha up there, they have Colomboani, they have Dembele as well, and I simply think that PSG is going to outscore Brest here. Now, I do believe that Brest has what it takes at the moment to get on the scoreboard. And for that reason, I'm going to go for the full value in this one. That is PSG to win and both teams to score at plus 175. And to finish up this video, guys, we have a parlay of the day, five-legger, like I said. I'm taking Athletic Bilbao on the double chance against Cadiz in La Liga. I'm taking Borussia Dortmund on the money line, PSG on the money line, Porto on the money line in Portugal. They are playing on the road. And we are going to go to Switzerland for the last pick. That's between Grasshoppers and Zurich, both teams to score, which is hit in like 12 games in a row between these two teams. So hopefully it hits in this one as well. Plus 419, guys, for a five-legger. We lost the one on Saturday badly, and it's time to bounce back with this one on Sunday. So Bilbao on the double chance, Borussia Dortmund moneyline, PSG moneyline, Porto moneyline, and Grasshoppers versus Zurich, both teams to score. That's it, everyone. Thank you for joining me here. I hope you have a great Sunday, guys. Good luck with all of your bets, and of course, stay tuned for more free picks coming up soon.